We start with breaking news. 2 U.S. service members have been killed in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. Their names, their hometowns have not been released. Military leaders say it doesn't appear to be enemy fire that brought down the helicopter, but the cause of the crash is still under investigation.
Developing now, we're live in Tacoma, where work could begin on the city's first tiny home village as soon as tomorrow.
And just in, a new twist in the effort to save Seattle's landmark Showbox Theater. Those are just some of the stories developing right now in our live feeds. But first, a new warning for dog owners and hikers tonight.
King County deputies say thieves are targeting popular parks and trails. They say Marymore Park and the Grandview dog parks are being hit especially hard. KOMO's Tammy Mutasa live tonight at Marymore, where one woman had her car window smashed. Tammy?
Preston, and that woman even saw the thieves in action, but that didn't stop them. Now, at least 2 cars were hit here at this park that same night, and detectives say cars are such easy targets because crooks know people don't want to take their bags into the dog park. It's the boldness of the thieves that angers Brooke Willow.
Oh, I was very angry. It was very brazen, very brazen. And the fact that they were still continued to case cars even after they saw me.
These are pictures of the broken glass all over her car after deputies say thieves smashed her window and snatched her purse at Marymore Dog Park on Sunday. She says she was standing just feet away from her car when she saw another car pull up next to hers. Next thing, her window was broken.
Saw that they had pulled up next to another car and went to walk down to figure out what was going on, and they saw me walking there and pulled out and drove away.
So far this year, King County deputies say more than 25 car prowls have been reported at Marymore Dog Park alone, and the crimes are going up at other parks.
Scary that it's happening in the community.
Dog owners say a lot of families go to the park, so they'll have to be more vigilant.
They need to put maybe lights in the parking lot.
And it's definitely good to be aware because now you can keep that watchful eye as well.
And it sounds obvious, but detectives can't emphasize it enough that even if you're leaving your car for a short time, take your bag with you or hide it in your car, and certainly keep the doors locked. Back to you.
Thanks, Tammy. Just in, the Tacoma City Council gave the green light for work on the city's first tiny home village on this vacant lot. That work could begin in a matter of hours. Here's a live look at the space where that temporary village for the homeless will be along Martin Luther King Jr. Way in about 3 to 4 weeks. Tonight's vote comes less than 2 weeks before Tacoma's new ordinance banning camping in parks takes effect. People we spoke to tonight say they're worried about the homeless as winter closes in.
I'm kind of horrified of what's going to happen in the future to our houseless neighbors. Right now, they have no place to go, so they go to the parks and they go to the streets.
Tacoma's council members say there will be a grace period once that camping ban begins.
New tonight, 2 organizations are teaming up to save the iconic Showbox Theater in downtown Seattle. Historic Seattle and the Seattle Theater Group say they plan to buy the theater together. This comes after a long legal fight to save the music venue from demolition. In July, the city of Seattle formally designated the Showbox as a historic landmark. Right now, negotiations with the current property owner and the city's Landmarks Preservation Board are still underway.
A live look at the radar tonight. The rain has moved out, but that's just making room for fog to roll in overnight. Hope you certainly enjoyed the sunny skies this afternoon. KOMO meteorologist Shan O'Donnell is here now with a look at who could be dealing with the foggiest commute come tomorrow morning. Shan?
We've already seen some of the traffic cams looking really murky out there. Pea soup conditions, especially in the south end of the Sound. Lewis County in particular looking like we have almost slim to none visibility there around places like Chehalis and Centralia. The night is young. It will get worse before it gets better. It always gets a little foggier right when the sun is coming up, so we're expecting that to start taking shape tomorrow as well. A look at some of the current visibilities. We've got perfect 10s through most of the Sound, but look at Shelton. That was the first spot to go earlier tonight in Mason County, down to a 1/4 mile. Similar views or lack thereof in Olympia, and again Lewis County where it's worst of all. A look at the hour-by-hour forecast. We're going to see that fog starting to increase throughout the Sound, moving into Seattle and Tacoma as we hit the morning commute. But by comparison, this Wednesday, tomorrow, very quiet weather-wise compared to next Wednesday, the one before Thanksgiving. We'll talk about that in the rest of my forecast in just a little bit.
Developing now, a Chicago police officer pulling through tonight after he was shot in the head during a gun battle. It's an update on breaking news we first brought you on KOMO News at 6. Police saying tonight imaging reveals the bullet penetrated and exited the officer's skull and that the injuries are more serious than first thought. Right now, he's in serious but stable condition. Police say a bank robbery led to a chase and shootout. A 15-year-old bystander was also shot in the crossfire and is in the hospital tonight. One gunman in custody, a second was shot and killed.
New tonight, King County Public Health is responding to questions about when hospitals are supposed to report patient infections. It comes after Seattle Children's Hospital revealed yesterday that there have been 14 Aspergillus mold infections and 6 deaths since 2001. King County Health tells us that hospitals in our state are required to notify health officials about individual or sporadic cases of certain diseases as well as outbreaks. Individual cases of Aspergillus are not reportable. Outbreaks of Aspergillus, which are 2 or more healthcare-related cases, are.
The CEO of Children's Hospital revealing yesterday, yes, there has been a cluster of 3 infections and 2 deaths in 2004 and 2005, along with 4 cases, individual cases, before the most recent infections started last year. Now, tonight, King County Health says it learned about those previous infections back in 2018. Officers say officials say the hospital looked into the cases in 2005 and determined contaminated dust might have been to blame. The health department says only now do they believe those earlier cases indicated an ongoing problem with the air handling system that's likely connecting all the infections. Children's is now installing that new rooftop handler and in-room HEPA filtration systems in every operating room in an effort to keep the mold from returning.
Going live to the U.S. Capitol now, we're looking ahead to a pivotal day in the impeachment inquiry of President Trump. A Mercer Island native will be in the spotlight tomorrow. EU Ambassador and Northwest businessman Gordon Sondland is set to take the hot seat, along with Deputy Assistant Defense Secretary Laura Cooper and diplomat David Hale. KOMO's Joel Marino looks ahead to testimony that could make history. Joel?
Mary, Sondland made his fortune building hotels like this one here in downtown Seattle. Now, though, he could make all the difference in the course that these impeachment hearings take.
Gordon Sondland's testimony looms large, and KOMO legal analyst